You. We will be opening our Innovation Day series. We have with us for the opening words the Councillor of Portugal Municipality, Rodrigo Alves. We also have Carlos Fonseca, CTO of Collab First Prize, and you have Professor José Gomes from the Agricultural School of Lisbon, Institute Superior de Linha. Okay, I will give the floor to our councillor, Rodrigo Alves, and he will give you the several words for the welcoming in Portuguese.
Então, bom dia. Eu quero começar por saudar, na pessoa da Brigitte, toda a organização, especialmente aqueles que estão na mesa comigo. Muito obrigado, Brigitte, mais uma vez escolhi a Pena Fiel para esta iniciativa fantástica e que visa tratar um assunto que muito nos tem preocupado a todos, sobretudo, enfim, durante o verão, mas trabalha-se fora do verão para que o verão corra melhor. Quero saudar também todas as entidades que aqui estão. Vejo aqui o Sr. Engenheiro Paulo Bessa, que conheço bem, representação do CNF, seja bem-vindo também à sua terra. Quero cumprimentar também a Associação Florestal de Alto Sousa, Conselho de Confiel, a pessoa da Sra. Engenheira, que também conheço bem, todas as entidades que aqui estão, todas as representações de câmaras também vizinhas, de todos aqueles que nos visitam, e também aos nossos serviços, na pessoa do engenheiro Romeu, que tem estado mais perto convosco nesta iniciativa. E, na verdade, quando nós fomos abordados, exatamente abraçámos esta iniciativa, colocando à disposição aquilo que são os nossos equipamentos, porque, para além de ser uma iniciativa muito importante por aquilo que debate, por aquilo que procura, partilha de conhecimento para tornar os nossos territórios mais resilientes, e bem precisamos disso. Para além disso, também coloca o município no centro destas decisões. Queria dizer-vos que o município de Penafiel e en passant tem de facto apostado também na prevenção. Temos aqui alguns dados muito breves, mas não podia perder a oportunidade com uma plateia tão qualificada por deixar. Nós fazemos, evidentemente, as faixas de gestão de combustível na rede secundária e este ano limpámos mais de 60 hectares no concelho de Penafiel. Também procurámos ter os caminhos florestais em bom estado e neste ano nós qualificámos cerca de 20 km de caminhos florestais e também aquilo que são os pontos de água para dar apoio aos meios aéreos. Mesmo assim, este ano posso dizer-vos que não foi um ano muito bom para Penafiel. Tivemos várias ignições, mas isto temos sempre, mas na verdade tivemos bastantes incêndios que ultrapassam já 1.700 hectares. É um ano mau. Temos tido outros anos com valores muito mais baixos e este ano foi de facto um ano mau. E na verdade fez-se a mesma prevenção, tivemos os mesmos cuidados, mas quando as condições se reúnem, as condições atmosféricas, de facto é muito difícil. Daí que todo o conhecimento que for produzido, de maneira a que possamos ter territórios mais resistentes, é bem-vindo. Nós estamos nesta comunidade convosco, que muito apreciamos. Aderimos também a um projeto liderado por uma pessoa, por acaso até minha amiga, foi por isso da Faculdade de Ciências, também com uma investigação com países, de outros países que pretendem também desenvolver conhecimento nessa matéria, porque é um flagelo que todos os anos nos aflige e com estas questões climáticas, não vejo que a tendência seja para diminuir. Eu tenho uma opinião, não baseada em estudos, não baseada em investigações, mas para mim há dois eixos que eu considero fundamentais. Um é dar valor à massa combustível. Se a massa combustível tiver valor, se os matos tiverem valor, os proprietários vão limpar porque ganham dinheiro com isso. E é uma área que eu acho que o Estado devia investir nessa área. É fundamental dar valor. Pelo contrário, a situação atual, o que é que acontece? É muito caro limpar matas. É muito caro limpar matas. Resultado, as pessoas não limpam. Este é um eixo. Este é um eixo ao nível da prevenção. Outro eixo importante, mais no combate, termos forma de detectar cedo e atacar cedo. Todos os grandes incêndios, em regra, começam com uma pequena fogueira. E, portanto, se essa pequena fogueira for detectada e apagada logo, vai-se evitar um incêndio. Portanto, são dois eixos que eu acho fundamentais, um na linha da prevenção e outro na linha do combate. Bom, mas temos aqui gente que sabe muito mais disso do que nós. Eu sou um simples servidor do município, eleito pelo povo, e estou aqui em sua representação com muito gosto. Desejo-vos uma jornada profícua e, em jeito de simpatia, para quem nos visita, tenho aqui umas breves palavras em inglês, fica sempre bem. Eu entendo razoavelmente bem, mas não arrisco uma conversa contínua porque posso ter água e não quero fazer. É bom, for the members who visit us, to those who come from other countries, I would like to welcome you all and hope that this conference contribute to new knowledge in the field of rural fire prevention. I also hope that you have fun and enjoy the charms of this old city. This city has 254 years old. It's an old city, but a nice city. Is the capital from us, is the capital of Sousa Valley. Good work, everyone, and enjoy the Penafiel. Thank you.
Thank you for your words. We'll give the floor to Professor José Borges for some welcome remarks.
Okay, thank you, Brigitte. So first of all, welcome all to this session, and thank you so much, Brigitte, and your team for organizing it. Thank you for our host, Rafael, and with the support of the Gustavo Souza, and thank you to all for your interest in this session. So here we are talking about innovation in order to address wildfire risk and forest management. We are working in the framework of a project where innovation and application are key issues. This is not a research and innovation project, it's an innovation action project. So the goal of opening challenges to bring in innovations to processes and tools that may help us mitigate wildfire risk and address wildfire damage and catastrophes that we have been facing in Portugal is really a very important topic. We are trying to address that in the Firecast project, in the framework of several work packages, and basically the ultimate goal is to answer the question that's being asked to us. How should I manage my actor, my small holding, the landscape? What advice can you provide us so that we do implement management options that may target the objective of addressing wildfire risk, of protecting our property, our resources, our landscape? And answering this question involves bringing in knowledge and expertise from several disciplines. We need to know how the best approaches, technology to acquire data. We need also the best approach in order to estimate what's the impact of what we do over the outcomes of interest. And in this case, we are meaning mitigating wildfire risk, minimizing the damage caused by wildfires, and bringing in that knowledge and information. Of course, we need to involve people managing forests, as Professor Américo Mendes from Associação Portugal Souza typically insists, is about managing people, not just trees. So the social component of the whole process is really very important. And we try to bring it in the framework of this project through several work packages where we target technological developments, innovations, we target social innovation, education platforms that we'll be talking about later in this section. I'll put some colleagues involved in that. So there are several issues that we need to bring together in order to come up with the answer to that question that we asked, how to manage the landscape. In the framework of the work package that I'm more involved in, which is focused on adaptive territorial management, we listed a few open questions that we try to come up with answers for, the whole consortium, and they range from questions just how should I adapt management options, how to bring in, for example, prescribed burning when we look at the landscape level. Other questions are like, well, if we want to facilitate suppression efforts when a wildfire occurs, which areas should we select in order to go first? What should we do there in those areas that are priority in order to facilitate later suppression efforts? And after wildfire, there's a wildfire, we have a large perimeter or a set of perimeters of wildfires. Where should we go first in order to promote restoration actions? And of course, the forest, the landscape is managed to address several objectives that include economics, wildfire protection, how to balance, what advice may we provide in terms of trade-offs, information that may help us select a strategy that is most adequate to target our objectives, our overall objective in terms of provision of services from the whole landscape. So these are several open questions that we have been trying to address together with the stakeholders, and the innovation actions that are being proposed here that have resulted from a process we have been involved trying to bring in other contributions, more expertise. Well, that the ultimate goal is that to help mitigate wildfire risk and come up with the answers that people are asking us, forest owners, forest managers, in the non-industrial private forest owners, the forest industry, municipalities. So that's our motivation, and that's, I think, the ultimate goal of this meeting, to move forward with this process. Thank you. Thank you all.
And last but not the least, Carlos Fonseca, CTO of Cola Forest Trust.
Bom dia a todos. Quero, antes de mais, dar os bons dias a todos. Aqui um cumprimento muito especial ao Sr. Vereador Rodrigo Lopes, uma vez mais por nos acolher neste conselho, e também ao colega José Borges Luísa, que desde o primeiro momento foi muito ativo e muito dinâmico no próprio convite para que o Forest Wise fizesse parte deste magnífico consórcio que é o FireRes. De facto, os anos vão passando, creio que as ações vão sendo cada vez mais dinâmicas e cada vez com mais impacto nos territórios, e estas ações também só fazem sentido se conseguirmos ir para os territórios e envolver as entidades que no dia-a-dia vivem estas matérias. E como disse o Sr. Vereador, não só os temas da prevenção, que são aqui para nós também centrais, mas essencialmente também os temas ligados a tudo que tem a ver com o combate e mesmo com o pós-incêndio, e uma vez mais este ano foi um ano difícil para todos nós. A Brigitte preparou aqui umas palavras em inglês, portanto eu vou fazer algo que não é muito comum nas minhas intervenções, que é ler um texto, mas vou ler e vou com certeza também aqui adicionar mais algumas notas minhas. Good morning everyone, and thank you for joining us today. It is a privilege to welcome you on behalf of Forest Wise as we launch the first series of innovation days within the FireRes project. This initiative, focusing on innovation, technology, and socio-ecological economic solutions for fire-resilient territories in Europe, truly aligns with our mission at Forest Wise to advance science and innovation in wildfire management and resilience. Today, we are gathering here in Portugal, joining the key players from across Europe and the United States for what promises to be an exciting exchange of ideas and solutions. This event, part of the Work Package 6 or FireRes, centers on fast-track innovation and serves as a collaborative platform where solutions providers, including both project partners and participants in the Open Innovation Challenge campaign from September to November 23, come together. From our outset, Forest Wise has been deeply involved in this campaign and is proud to support the Open Innovation Challenge winners as they now move forward to implement and test their solutions across FireRes leading labs. As part of this initiative, we received an impressive 82 applications, providing innovative solutions to wildfire resilience, overcoming the Living Lab Voices challenges needs. Together with our partners at the European Forest Institute in ESTEC, across the 11 living labs and the communities, we will fire with wildfire innovation. Last September, 21 winners were selected. Six for pilot testing, around 15,000 euros, and 15 around 5,000 euros for demonstration testing. These solutions will soon be tested in their respective living labs, where they will demonstrate their real-world potential for fire resilience. Congratulations to all of these winners. Today, 9 of these winning solutions providers are with us to present their innovations in a series of pitches, giving us an early look at the promising advances they bring to wildfire management. Our collab will be closely accompanying these winners and monitoring the progress of their pilot and demonstration tests, backed by a dedicated fund of 56,000 euros. Future editions of this series will take place in Bulgaria and Spain, expanding our network and sharing resources for effective wildfire management. The first Innovation Day brings together a dynamic range of stakeholders from technical, social, and ecological domains, demonstrating the effective wildfire management requires an holistic approach, combining state-of-the-art technology with community resilience and environmental considerations. We are thrilled to see solutions providers, FireRes partners, and CWI stakeholders from our living lab in Lausanne and Val de Sousa engaging in these discussions. Each of you contributes to this critical dialogue, and together we are building the foundation for significant advances in this field. I would also like to extend an invitation to visit the ForestWise workstation that is upstairs, where you can explore the diverse products, services, and projects we offer. These cover a broad spectrum of technology, social, and ecological dimensions, reflecting our commitment to comprehensive, innovative solutions. We encourage you to take a closer look, ask questions, and see how this integrated approach supports resilient and wildfire management. In fact, just to give you some idea about this ForestWise collab, it was a kind of a dream that came true in the last 5 years. In fact, it is a completely new model to face the problems. In our case, our domains are fire and forest. And altogether, I may say companies, universities, public bodies are completely aligned to find solutions for the daily problems and needs that all these people identify in the field or in political policies, in the different activities that are related to these domains. So in these 5 years, the numbers are amazing. The team at the moment is around 50 people. 1/3 of them are PhD with different skills that cover most of the areas related to forest and fire. In terms of project, we have more than 40 projects related to forest management, valorization, but also with the fire. In terms of euros, it means around 5 million euros a year of investment in this domain. So I may say that nowadays ForestWise is like a crucial player in these areas in Portugal and more all over the world. And I could see that one of the words that highlight in the program for yesterday and today is networking. And in fact, we can assume that ForestWise is very, very professional in networking. And this is some kind of stamp that ForestWise has. We gave some proof of that in the past, and we are giving again in the present, and we hope to give again in the future. So thank you very much for being here today, and we look forward to an inspiring and productive day filled with collaboration, insight, and innovation. Let's make this Innovation Day series a significant milestone in our collective journey towards more resilient, fire-safe landscapes around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carlos. So it's my turn now. I'm opening the innovation sessions. So I will give you now the password. So if you will be able, the main goal is networking between us. But if you need internet, you have the password. Okay. So our innovation sections, they are split in 4 topics or dimensions. The first one, technological, second one, more dealing with communication, the third one related to landscapes and territories, and the fourth one is devoted to the basic solutions. Each innovation section will have a main speaker, then we'll have the innovation pitch. We have, as our Carlos previously told us, we'll have with us 9 winners of the Open Innovation Call. So congratulations and thank you for being with us. And we'll finish with the Q&A also session. Hopefully you'll have time to share between us ideas and to take this opportunity. So the first, as I mentioned, the first topic will be innovation addressing extreme wildfires to technologies. We'll have Madalena from Collab Forest Fires our share of this session. Then we'll have around we'll have innovation facilitating fire smart communications with Katia Santos as share of this session. We'll have our lunch, and we have time for this networking lunch. And during the afternoon, we will have 2 more sections, innovation sections. We started with innovation creating resilient territories from multiple perspectives. I will be the chair of that session. And the last session, innovation relying on or enhancing nature-based solutions with Daniela Teixeira, that all of you know us from the several emails and group of emails that will be the share of the session. And we'll have our afternoon networking and coffee. And to finish this day of innovations, we'll have our roundtable discussion. We have the same scheme. We have a main speaker with us that is here today, Tessa, Laura. We have invited experts from forestry, economic, and entrepreneurship dimensions, national invited experts. And we'll have a liquid talk that is also a partner of this Package 6 and the Open Innovation Challenges campaign as a share. And the topic that we bring is something that is new and on the table, a boost financial resilience innovation in wildfire management. We are talking and been working about landscape resilience, community resilience, and we want also to think in this financial resilience topic and issue that is very important. And to closing our journey today, we will have the Living Lab leaders of the Portuguese Living Lab. José Borges is the co-leader of Val de Sousa, and I'm the co-leader of Lausanne. So thank you, and I'm wishing you a very fruitful journey. We have here, I believe, the pivotal innovations that they can bring somehow a new path. So I want to wish you to have a very, very fruitful journey. And again, thank you for coming, and a special thanks to all the winners that are today with us. And we also have 3 OEC winners online that will not be able to meet face-to-face with us today. So now it's opening the networking and morning coffee. We'll have 35 minutes for networking and interaction, so enjoy it. extreme wildfires through technology and methodologies. So I will ask my colleague Madalena to join us, and she'll be the chair of this session.
Hello, good morning. So we are going to start with the first theme about the innovations addressing extreme wildfires through technologies and methodology. And so I invite the pitchers and the main speaker to join me here in this table, so we can start with the first presentation. So I'm calling the first main speaker, Fábio Silva, then Amar Martins from FAUs, Sven and Melvin from Network Technologies, and we have joining us online Dr. Mohamed Arnek from Fast Card.
Only the speaker comes up?
No, then I call the speakers and just
Yeah.
So I will give the floor to our first presentation with our main speaker, Fábio Silva from Inestec. So I will invite you to start your presentation.
Hello, good afternoon. Good morning. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Fábio Silva. In this case, from Inestec in Phil. In this photo, seems that I'm researcher, but I'm more practitioner. So I will try to develop some notes about some gaps that I identified, and maybe all of us identified in the last few years, about some investigations in some part of our work. So I think that one of the most important things that we need to develop when we think about the innovation when we think about research or in technology, I think we need to translate the complex information in common language. So it's a big challenge. And one of the worst things that I think that will happen in the next years will be that I would say that we always we have data. So today we have a lot of graphs, a lot of maps, a lot of tables, a lot of numbers. So it's very simple. We make some simulation and make some beautiful graphs about the wildfires. Today we have in our hands different technology. Today we can demonstrate the numbers in the different approach. So in my opinion, and sometimes it represents some danger, because it's very important to use the scientific approach in order we can use this kind of information. As a practitioner, in the last few years, I worked in the wildfire analysis in the field and supporting the wildfire, some forest fire decisions, would say this way. And usually, sometimes we are seeing a lot of data that did not represent the reality. So I think we need to understand very well, and in this case, I use it this kind of the connection between the science, technology, and society. So I will try to explain. For my view, I think we need to combine and use and join and use in the same time the empirical knowledge, the scientific knowledge, and technological the tools that we already have, and knowledge, of course, that we have today about this. So I think that could be this kind of relationship is the theme that we will develop today with this kind of innovation actions. So it's very important we understand the role that we have in science and technology, and of course as with the practitioners. So when we work in these three types of knowledge, we can see that with empirical knowledge usually is the way, or is with the practitioners we will find the needs, and we will find the people that need to respond every day, even if the science cannot explain particle animals and things like that. The practitioners need to work always need to respond in different scenarios that we maybe sometimes we are not prepared. So of course, when we can identify very well our needs, we need to use other kind of methodology. And this methodology is science, is the science knowledge. So when we combine empirical knowledge and scientific knowledge, of course, we have other kind of methodology, other kind of possibilities to respond in this kind of complex scenarios. When in this case, I'm talking about the complex or extreme wildfire events. So here, I'm trying to represent you that the technological knowledge represents here is transversal of all this process. So as I can use now this computer and this kind of technology to represent what I want to say, what I want to demonstrate. So technology here is crucial, and sometimes we are seeing that this different kind of the knowledge sometimes work alone. It's not work together in the same place. So when we see some kind of the scientific researcher, sometimes we cannot see since the beginning the practitioner in this process. Sometimes we don't see the practitioners into all the process. This kind of researcher. So it's crucial that we use we can try to create the communication between all this knowledge. And when I say knowledge, of course, it is represented by practitioners, researchers, and here in practitioners, of course, we can put and we can include some technicians. So I'm trying to work in my work now. I'm doing my PhD. My first article is about the two communication gaps. So it's the gap that we have between the researcher and the practitioner, and after that, the practitioner and the citizen. So when we try to translate complex information and try to put in the common language, in this case, common language, it means for each user and user. So it's crucial that we understand the way that we are communicating, that we have this kind of communication. And today, when we talk about, for example, you can see in the scientific approach, the researcher communicate with us as a practitioners with scientific articles and some code. We have some language, specific language, and a lot of time I cannot understand this kind of language. So I would say that we are losing a lot of the scientific development that we had in the last 10 years, because we developed a lot investigation. We already have a lot good investigation about wildfires, but it's very difficult. We see the practitioner use all this kind of development. Maybe we have this kind of gaps with the communication. So when we see this kind of graph that I did, we can see that the practitioner is more or less in the middle of this process. So it's more or less the bridge. So here I'm trying to represent that the scientific knowledge represent the what we need to develop, some knowledge, what we need to develop for our society, and the practitioner is the middle of this process and need to, in my view, need to use all this knowledge that we have and the scientific knowledge and try to implement. Why the practitioner? It's very simple to explain. In my opinion, the practitioner is the middle, it's crucial, it's some centrality here because need to take decisions, need to respond at the phenomena, need to have here the important role in all this scenario. And when in the last few years we worked in this table, it's very funny. We did this with me and Akli for the first meeting by FireRes and Catalonia. And I think this represents very well the relationship between the researcher and the practitioner in this kind of environment. So a lot of times the practitioner, the scientist, the researcher only need an article, only need to achieve some metrics. They only need to finish some funds, some projects. Other times, the researcher have a lot of interest in do the things that we can apply. So when we talk about the applied science, of course, we need to both interest and co-creation. We need to work together, and sometimes we don't have this in our projects. So this relationship, in my opinion, it's very good. It is very good representation that we have. Sometimes it's true that in the environment of the practitioners, a lot of time the practitioners don't know very well the problem and have some difficult to understand your problem. Sometimes know the needs, but it's very difficult to understand the real problem. And of course, a lot of times doesn't have the methodology to achieve the best procedure. So here, this kind of the relationship is crucial. This is the way that I can see it. We don't have this in any article. I did this a few years ago. When I coordinate the wildfire analysis team that we have in Portugal now in civil protection, this is the methodology that I use it to relate with the researcher. So in the first moment, he has a practitioner, I will identify my real needs and I will present some questions and some doubts that I need to find the way that for this resolution. So after that, the researcher will develop some hypotheses, will develop with the scientific methodology, and this kind of approach will give you some opportunities and some hypotheses. After, I will, as a practitioner, testing this in the field and my reality and see if my problem is solved or not. And in the end, of course, I will generate other doubts. I will generate other problems. Maybe I will not solve all my entire problem. A lot of times I will resolve part of my problem. I will give again other doubts, other questions. In this cycle doesn't have finished. It's this closed cycle. So again, the researcher will receive my doubts, my needs, and after that we will reconstruct our problem, our case study. So here we only can do this kind of approach. We only can do this kind of the relationship if we have the one relationship the entire year, not only in some specific projects. If we have found in one project for one thing that I don't want to achieve now, I have a problem because I don't have this scientific or the researcher close with me. I need this kind of a relationship with the researcher and the practitioners depends a lot today with the projects, with the funds that sometimes it's not aligned with some goals that we have into our organization. So in this scheme, we see, I think it's funny also, this, as Steve Jobs said, so focus is saying no. So, and today we have a lot of inputs into the organization. So the organization has some resources and human resources in order to respond for the missions, for the functions that we have. Mainly the national, the organizations that into the government. So, of course, if we have a lot of inputs, a lot of projects that it's not aligned with our goals, we will not achieve our goals. So we need to say no a lot of times and put the focus on our main goals. Other important thing is we need the right vision and we need creativity in order to achieve some innovation. So here, I think that it's clear that the politician and the researcher work very well together, and here with the vision and the creativity we can achieve with this both players. And the solution, of course, is transversal of all this process. We have the technology today, and now I think we have these three different knowledge that we need to work together and use this kind of knowledge together in order to achieve. I'm seeing the technology and is transversal, as I said, support. And support here, there, you can see that, in my opinion, we need institutional support. We need to change some internal procedures in our organizations in order to be adapt for the innovation. So a lot of our organization is not adapting for innovation, is adapting for respond daily for our needs. So if we need to new innovations, we need to we don't. It's not the right approach. We depend of the inputs that we will receive for outside of our organization. And today you can see in a lot of projects that some national organizations receiving a lot companies and some researchers and some projects that, okay, I have this solution for you, it's perfect for you. But sometimes if we don't align with the goals, with the reality, we cannot achieve the right goals that we have. So other important thing is applicability that is completely aligned with my speech. So I think that we lose a lot of money in the last 20 years with a lot of projects that we don't use for nothing. So we need to define very well if some projects and some researches, some investigations, we can apply or not. Of course, in science we have different dimensions, but when we talk about the applied science, we need to apply in reality. And a lot of times with technology projects, because now around of the wildfires we have a lot of money that we didn't, and 20 years ago. So it's a lot of opportunity for companies. Perfect, fine. It's a lot of opportunities for found the universities. Fine again. So, but we need to apply this kind of science and apply this kind of money in the right projects. And here we only can do this if the politicians will use this. For example, the metrics that we have in our universities is we need to produce a lot of scientific articles because we have evaluation for that. Of course, it will for sure compromise the quality and efficiency of this kind of studies. If we have 6 months, it's not the same that we have 2 years to develop some theories. And in the beginning of some investigation, a lot of time we don't know if we will finish this in 6 months or 3 years. So we don't have this opportunity to do the right. It's not about quality, it's about time and some metrics that you know. So it's not new for anyone. Other important thing is institutional collaboration. So mainly in Portugal, because I'm Portuguese, but of course around of Europe, we duplicate a lot of work. So we are competing and we don't have the perspective of the complementary. So of course we can say that. We can say yes, but it's not true. We are competing for funds, we are competing for do. And this is the main reason because we are duplicate a lot of work. I can give you a lot of examples, but maybe it's not the right place. So we need, of course, more synergy. We need the practical results for our investments. So maybe we need to change our metrics and see in the end if we apply or not. So it's other kind of metric. It's not if the end of this project we did or not. It's one metric, but the other is next 5 years we applied or not. It's different. So I think we need to change. I will try to finish. So, but I think it's good because I was very critical. So I will give you the successful case study. So is for example, the GIS tool that we use in National Authority of Emergency and Civil Protection in Portugal now. We received the very SAB award. By EFTI, for example, it's a very good tool. So we are seeing that a lot of companies do this. So it's a good example. Why it's a good example and why we have this kind of the SOSCO, and of course we have other good examples because here we work together with empirical knowledge, scientific knowledge, and technology. So empirical knowledge. The developers of this project was firefighters, not a computer engineer, and of course we had the support of the company and some engineers and the approach that you can see about science is about the contents. So when we use some products, some contents, and maps, we need to using with science, with behind of all these products, we need to use the scientific approach in order we have some fundamental. So I'm finished. So other important thing is about, and I think means a lot about our project is about diffusion. So operational training, digital mode, we can see that we develop this kind of diffusion, generate dependencies. So it's if I could give you advice, it's very important to generate some dependency of the tools. If we generate this kind of dependency, it's because the main reason is because we use this kind of tools. So this is the very important phase. We talk a lot about this and create some doctrine. So this is the key message, is work together since the beginning. Not put the practitioners only at the end, give you some product. Since the beginning, since the idea, since you are start and work together, I think, of course, is the best way to achieve our metrics. And thank you very much. I'm completely available for any questions.
Thank you for your presentation. And communication is really the main connection between humans. So if it fails on the beginning, everything else is almost like fails. So now we're going to start with the teachers' presentations with their solutions. And the first one will be from Amar Martins. And correct me if I'm wrong about the pronunciation, but I imagine it's Ephesian. So I invite you to start your presentation. And
okay. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Amar Martins, and I'm the CEO of Ephesus. Ephesus is a young startup dedicated to developing new products and technologies for a more efficient, safer, and autonomous forest firefighting. So forest fires are really, and that's why I believe we're all here, it's because forest fires are a really rising calamity. Just to give you some data on it, Just last year, around the world, we were shy of just 1 million forest fires. And they're not increasing just in number, they're increasing also in intensity. So a few years ago, and I believe we all remember this, in Portugal, a large forest fire killed more than 80 people and destroyed more than 100 houses in a single council. But it's not just 7 years ago, this is not an isolated case. Just this year, this summer, the whole town of Jasper was destroyed by a forest fire. So thousands of people were evacuated and the whole town was destroyed by fire. But this is not just about the people or their houses. This is also about the economy and how governments can deal with this. So just this year, 2 industries in Portugal were either damaged or fully destroyed by forest fires, which affected their industries and had them stop production, lay off workers, or even fire them. So at Fesmus, we actually came with a solution to prevent this type of calamity. We developed Prevent. Prevent is an ornamental vase, but it's also much more than that. It's capable of fully and autonomously detecting any approaching fire. So imagine that animation that I just showed there. If there's a fire on the trees that are approaching the house, our vase will detect it and it will fight it autonomously. So it doesn't need any human intervention. So it will build a safety perimeter around the asset which is protecting, and using our patented extinguishing load, it will fight the fire without any need of a human being nearby. But if you'd like to see an example, I can just show you this one. So once there is a detection, when here we just manipulated it, once there is a detection of fire, this is what happens. An alarm launches, and then our patented extinguishing load is launched onto the fire. Our patented extinguishing load is highly retardant, so the fire will not be able to proceed beyond the line established or the circle established by our extinguishing load. So it will be impossible for it to actually destroy the asset that the vase is protecting. So the main advantages that this brings to the market. So first of all, it doesn't need any connection to electricity or water. And if you're experiencing forest firefighting, you know that if there is a forest fire nearby, you have no electricity and thus no water to fight it. This is a technology that is active 24/7, so it's always there with you. It provides a full protection of wooden structures, something which insurance companies don't really insure. It is fully autonomous, as I've said like 10 times for now. And it actually adds value to your property, so your property can actually increase in value by having one of our products. And our current market data could not be clearer than this. 80% of the companies we have actually inquired and been with is interested on a physical demonstration of Prevent. And this is perhaps the reason why, because with a less than 6,000 euro investment in protection using Prevent, they can protect more than 120, they can save more than 120,000 in asset saving due to the avoidance of their asset being destroyed by fire. So regarding our competitors, and I'll be brief about this, the first one is really popular within Canada and the US, it's sprinkler systems, but they have a few issues. They have a high cost, they require permanent connection to water and electricity systems, which, as I've said, don't really work when there's a fire. And then we have new emerging technologies, especially within the chemical sector. However, these have high costs. They can only be used in confined spaces only because they use aerosols, which take oxygen out of the atmosphere, which doesn't really happen in forest fires because we have unlimited supply of oxygen. Then regarding our roadmap, I'm just pleased to announce that we have already done our pre-launch of Prevent, so anyone, even you, can today buy a Prevent vase, and hopefully by next year we will start our internationalization towards Spain. As for our team, we are a very young, dedicated team to tackling forest fires in a more safer, autonomous, and efficient manner. And above all, we are very highly multidisciplinary with a few PhDs and, as I've said, patents along the way. Last but not least, I'd like to ask you to join us in the change in fighting forest fires. I'm available for any questions. Thank you so much.
So thank you very much, Amar, with your presentation. When we were evaluating, I remember reading about your solution, and it really intrigued me. And it does make sense. At least for me, it doesn't really make sense to have a vase that helps in the fire while you are home, because it's another way to help out and have one more tool to prevent the fires, at least for the public. So now we are going to continue with our picture presentations, and it's a double pitch with Sven and Melvin from Mehar Technologies, and so I ask you to join us to start your presentation.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just gonna adjust this. Hi, my name is Melvin Siemen. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Mehar Technologies. The pronunciation Mehar is also allowed. However, it stands for Melvin and Joris, who's my business partner, Joris. He's not here today with us, unfortunately. We will be presenting our two products in wildfire management. They're both software solutions. The goal of the company is to limit damages of wildfires worldwide. That's our focus. We collaborate on these kinds of things all over the world. And today I brought my environmental scientist, Sven. He will be presenting one of the specific solutions because he is the scientist and the expert in this field. So yes, the two products are Lucy and Chris. Lucy is typically a product for the pre-ignition phase of wildfires, giving insight into where a fire can start, and a nice analytical tool also to assess this risk and to do preparatory measures. And Chris is specifically a solution for when a fire is ongoing and an institution is using a drone system to visualize this. Yeah, our team is currently 8 people. We're based in Amersfoort, which is 30 minutes east of Amsterdam, and we are all engineers or scientists by trade. All right, floor to Sven.
Yeah, hi guys, my name is Sven. I'm the environmental scientist at Mehar Technologies. Our first product is Lucy. Lucy is our wildfire risk software, and it uses public satellite data to analyze wildfire risk. It uses machine learning to analyze the satellite data and determine wildfire risk at a 10 by 10 meter resolution. It can be applied worldwide, so also to areas which have no or little wildfire risk, and it's about 90% accurate. We developed Lucy as an improvement for the Canadian Fire Weather Index, which only uses weather data, and as you can see from the top map, has a really coarse resolution. Our improvement with Lucy, as you can see the map here, is the resolution much better. But besides weather data, it also uses environmental data, topographical data, and population data, and it also includes non-burnable surfaces. Well, what's the value of Lucy? Well, we tested Lucy on a wildfire in the Netherlands, which was about 41 hectares. It was here. This was a map of Lucy 3 days before the fire, and as you can see here, it's all green, except for one patch of land. And that was this one, and there the fire happened actually 3 days later. With the use of explainable AI, we can also identify the risk drivers in positive or negative ways, which gives you some type of priority list of where to start and how to start, and which can also support mitigation. Besides current wildfire data, we can also do trend analysis, which we use historic wildfire data to make maps like these. This shows the overall change in wildfire susceptibility. This map is a map we made for a pilot project for Australian garlic, which is the biggest exporter of garlic of Australia. But besides this map, we can also make a lot of other maps to display trends in wildfire risk. And well, this can also optimize research deployment.
Thank you. So now on to Chris, which is the wildfire response support system. And Chris is specifically designed to support firefighters or any institution that uses drones to visualize ongoing fires. So Yeah, all right. So here you see it working. The top video unfortunately doesn't load, but you can see what a drone typically sees when you look through the camera. A lot of forest, some dirt roads here and there, but not a lot of reference points. So what our system does is connects directly to the drone. We have integration with a couple of drone partners like DJI, which is currently 80% of the drone market. We have an integration with already. And what it does within a couple of seconds maps out what the drone sees in real time to an online accessible application. So then not only the drone pilot sees what's going on the ground, but also external parties can look at it and you can see where the fire currently is. So then in this system, there's also an automatic detection system. The majority of the drones on the market have infrared sensors. So that means that we can detect fires or basically anything between -10 and +70 degrees Celsius. In this case, in the top video, you see the drone and the software detecting a very small fire of a squat, I think a quarter square meter, something like that. And afterwards, the system also draws a fire line around the fire. Since every fire is fought from the outside in, if you know where the fire line is and the specific location of that, you know where either to evacuate or where to start your firefighting. And the next development that we are doing currently and we will release in the next year will be a very simple machine learning algorithm that takes all the parameters from the drone, what it sees, and from some satellite data to make a fire spread simulation that with only one touch of a button gives an estimation of what the fire will be with steps in time of 10, 20, 30, up to an hour in the future. So there's no reliance on very complex systems to do a spread simulation while the fire is going on. But really giving back the power to the firefighter to be safe and also to limit the damages of these fires while fighting. Those are the points, but I spoke through them. You don't need to read them. So what we've done so far, we've done some agricultural projects like Sven also said, collaborated with the largest garlic grower to assess where his future farms would be, potentially limiting the damages of wildfires to its yearly outcome with 10 to 20 million Australian dollars. We collaborate with the major universities in the Netherlands on research, the Black Jaguar Foundation, which actually is a Dutch foundation that's trying to reforest the Amazon, the largest reforestation effort in the world currently. They already planted 2 million trees with the original indigenous vegetation there, and they're trying to do 2 to 3 billion trees. So there also we supply our wildfires to make sure that when they plant them, they can protect them and make sure that they don't burn down afterwards. And yeah, we are open to collab with anybody. I think it's good, and I've talked to a few people already, that the focus should be to collaborate and make sure that we have these solutions onto the market as quickly as possible and not to compete. So yeah, please come by to our stand. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. And now we're going to move to the presentation of Dr. Mohammed Ormek from Forest Guard, and he will be joining us online. So it will be like a different kind of pitch, but it's still.
Is everything all right? Hello?
Hello?
Hear me? Is everything all right?
Hello, good morning. You are hearing me? I'm Brigitte from Collab Forest Wise, and we are all here to see you in your presentation. Please. can you share your presentation? Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you. Can you see my screen right now?
Yes, it's perfect.
Okay, but I think it's at the beginning right now. I need to just. Come on. I'm not presenting for Fabio. No. Come on. Doesn't allow me to just get in the right. Sorry for this delay, but I was ready for it. I don't like Microsoft at all, that's why he hates me too. Okay, I will be just going on this way. Sorry for not making it on full screen. So, from Portugal, I am the co-founder and CEO of our startup. So I will be talking about the AI revolution for forest fires, as much as the other presentations I have heard or listened from this way, and I'm so proud to be here. So, as you may already know, wildfires causes more than $140 billion economical damage per year globally, as we already know that. And the wildfires also causes 20% of this global carbon dioxide emissions. And one more thing to mention, wildfires also causes 3 billion losses, biodiversity losses. In other words, killing the animals each year. So these are the estimations. I'm pretty sure the real situation is worse than this. And the main responsible is the causing of the 80% of global fires of the human, as we are. So we already have the cutting-edge technologies, satellite, fiber communication, and the great telecommunication infrastructures, but we have a problem. We are still, there was a nation, and so we are still having this communication level when we are talking about the wildfires. So, how we were just trying to understand we can make it better. And there's an analogy for that. If your bedroom is flooded, so will you mop the floors or will you turn off the tap? So I'm pretty sure most of us in this whole room prefer to mopping the floors, turning off the tap, but most of the other world is trying to mop the floors without turning off the tap. So we come up with the question, why can't we detect the fires earlier? So we are trying to find a solution for that. And we believe the answer is the data refresh rate. So when satellites coming up, there is a 99.99% of fire. We are having this situation at that moment. And when we are just checking the thermal cameras, we also have the big fires and the huge temperature changes. And also camera detection as well. So when the camera just using the image processing to detect the fire by counting differentiating the frames, so we have huge fires or heavy smoke. But IoT devices can bring us much more in this peaceful event. We have verified it. What we focused on, we believe the sign of fire should be a smoke or smoldering rather than a fire, because it will be too late. And we believe that early detection should be detecting the fire in this stage, like the zombie fires or the smoldering stage, not at that. So we come up another question: how can we detect fires even if there is no fire? So now we have developed these IoT devices to gather up more than 30 plus parameters from the teenager and classify this atmospheric conditions and detect the anomalies. So we made a lot of POCs in Turkey and outside of Turkey as well. So we detected some fires even before 4 hours, before any visible smoke. So it is not possible to make it with human observation or manual observation as well, but AI can bring this to us. So how can we do that? We are just making such kind of these wearable technologies, but for the trees. So we strapping them into the forest, and we are collecting billions of data in a day. And by using the satellite communication, we are just transmitting this data to the cloud, and we have a secret source AI model to just classify all this information, but also it's learning the local normals. So that's why so spatial to us. And now we have awarded from TechCrunch, as you may already mentioned about that we are the finalist 20 right now, and we have many prestigious awards globally, and more by learning from the forest fires. We needed to just apply and adapt to this technology to other industries. So like paper recycling factories, energy plants. Now it will be implemented to cargo ships. And we are also selling this to private resort hotels as well to make a huge mesh network among the trees. So as the global traction right now, we are serving in Turkey, Spain, it will be in Portugal soon. So we are also located in Sofia Antipolis, Turkey, and we have sales partner in Middle East and Latin America as well, and Asia Pacific, not to forget. And we will be expanding our market to North America soon. So we are a small amount of dedicated team working on that, and no information about the seed round investment. And thank you for listening to me, and we are trying to change the IoT world for Internet of Trees. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Omar, for your presentation.
All right, so now we have a little bit of time for small Q&A. So if any one of you have a question to put to our pitches, now is the time, even to our main speaker, now is the time to put the questions. Otherwise, if you don't feel like having a question in now or don't have one, you can always ask them later. And since we're like a little bit late, it's also like the thing. But at the same time, if anyone has a question, now is also the time to do them, because other people might have the same question. And now we can all, and discussion is actually something that we all look forward to as well, otherwise we wouldn't also be here. So use this time, otherwise we are going to go forwards and just move to the next thing. Okay, so we have a question from Tessa.
I'm curious about the prevent technology. Have you thought about how that would work in the case of a canopy fire? A canopy fire? So in the US, for example, most homes get, when they actually catch on fire, thank you.
Acabou-se, não
Maybe or no?
Most of the homes, okay, all right, so most of the homes don't actually catch on fire because the ground fire reaches the house.
It's really once the fire becomes a canopy fire and the sparks, even preceding the flames, will hit the roof and the chimney and knock it out. So I'm just curious how this technology would work in the case of one of those canopy fires that's up in the top of the trees.
Yeah, so our sprinkler system can be pointed towards where the client points. So this is in the end a almost fully editable sort of product and technology because it's a fully integrated and cooperative technology. It doesn't need in the end it is a product that the client can tell us, okay, I am afraid of a canopy fire. So we can find a way of pointing our sprinklers towards the roof of the house. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. Right now, we haven't faced that problem here in Portugal. No one has ever put forward that issue, but it's something that we can definitely do. Because again, we can increase the pressure on which we release our extinguishing load. We can change a bit of our sprinklers. We have more than 20 different types of sprinklers, so the area we can cover can vary according to the needs of the client. So we can definitely do that. It's just a matter of understanding the needs of that particular client and providing it with what he needs.
Thank you.
Yeah, as well. If the client wants to.
All right, any more questions? All right, Sandeep.
Hello, same question, more or less same question, but to the previous CEO. As you have mentioned that we don't need permanent supply of water for the sprinklers, right? Yeah, but I can see some kind of water flowing from the sprinklers, right? But how do you provide water? Do we need to refill the machine time and again that after it release?
So yeah, the vase doesn't need any connection to water main, so it doesn't need any wires from outside. The vase is 100% autonomous. So it does have our extinguishing load pressurized inside the vase. Obviously, that means a limited supply of extinguishing load that we can have. Now, that is personalized, so we had, at the moment, we already had some pre-orders. Some pre-orders can ask for, I don't know, 15, 20 liters of extinguishing load. Some others have asked for 100. So it depends on, again, on the client needs. And we can just fully adapt to that without any complexity at all. So yeah, in the end, to answer your question, we do have a limited supply of extinguishing load. However, do not think that our extinguishing load is like water, that you pour 100 liters of water onto a big fire and nothing's going to happen. That is why we have patented our extinguishing load, because it's highly retardant. So the objective here is to stop the fire from actually spreading and to becoming a major problem for the property or asset that we are trying to protect.
Okay.
Thank you. So my question is more related to the technology that is proposed to release it into organizations that are already working on the white page. So they have a legacy system. So are there any thoughts regarding the integration of the technology you are proposing and teaching in terms of how do you approach an organization and how do you make sure that there's a seamless integration with what they have already? So that's related to the issue that Fabio raised. One of the major sources or explanation for failure of technological projects is the fact that there is no architecture. And so there is no acknowledgement of the business process of the organization and the tools that are already in place to address a specific problem. So what is your view in terms of facilitating that integration of what we are proposing into what the organization or institution may have already?
Hi. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you for the question. To be honest, I was about to ask the same question to Fabio, because I have run into this issue where we are sitting with either in a safety institute in the Netherlands or a large corporation that has these initiatives running already that do similar things, not exactly the same. I can pinpoint to them our USPs for the potential improvements. But sometimes the discussions end there, just basically by saying we have other things going on that we would like to follow through first. I mean, there's sometimes that I guess the anecdotal times that it does work out is when you can establish, okay, you have this now, can we take some work off your shoulders? Is there any way of doing co-creation? Can we make it into a collaborative project in any kind of a way? But mostly, to be honest, I have no protocols for this. It's usually person-to-person connection, sitting face-to-face, really trying to solve an issue, talking about what's the goal we're trying to achieve here, and how are we complementary in our expertise and how can we collaborate. But yeah, to be honest, it's hit or miss. So I would also love to have more insight into this. Thank you for the question.
Okay. So to answer your question, I believe it's an excellent question because I've wondered that too many times. Now I'm not a researcher in, well, I'm also a researcher not connected to forestry issues. But one of the things that I encountered when I visited potential clients was that actual our competition and fire sensors right now are quite popular. They are providing a service that seems easy and highly technological. But then when our clients were just wondering the price, and I can give you the example of a particular company which is selling fire sensors, the sensor was roughly 50 euros and it covered their camping site. So the client that I contacted was a camping site. And they said they only needed 1 to 2 sensors max, and the sensor was roughly 50 euros. So €100 investment. And the camping site wanted really to buy that, but then they said, oh no, but to support the technology that the sensor has, you need to purchase a gateway, you need to have a dedicated server, you need to have a space for us to store this type of thing. And then they asked, oh, but I want to know the global investment on this whole technology that I would like to implement. And it said, oh, the gateway server, etc., it's roughly 6,000 euros plus tax, and then plus the subscription fee. And then the camping guy just told me, well, why the hell do I need a subscription fee? Because if I'm paying for all this physical stuff. And then that's where we actually met with that client who's actually now testing our product. Because he understood, and that's why we made Prevent without any type of technology that comes from the outside, because it's too complex for the average human being to comprehend, at least for now. So that's why our base is 100% autonomous. It doesn't need any sort of new technology, it doesn't need any subscription-based payment. It is just something that you put there. It works when there's a fire. So it may happen tomorrow, it may never happen. So that's what the client wants, is to address first their psychological fears, and then when the fire comes, he wants it to be there and do its job.
All right, so I do imagine that there is no more questions, because we also don't have time. So I invite you all to then join us at the workstations and put your questions to each of our pictures presentations or the main speakers from this panel and the next ones. And so thank you for joining us in this discussion and to show your solution. Okay, if Fabio wants to, but it really has to be like really short. See? No? See?
So, what do you want that I say?
I guess the question, everything that you asked, aligns very much what you've been saying, but now we need to know how. I fully agree with your whole presentation, but how do we do this? How do we get into it? How do we get the institutions to also realize that we need to collaborate?
The main concern when we develop this kind of technology and this kind of projects is the business plan. I think you speak about this. So the main problem that we have here is the fund. Usually the fund don't need or don't exist a lot or don't insist a lot in this kind of business plan. In the end, we already have the technology, we already found this kind of technology, and we don't know if we will have this technology after the project. So this is your main concern, I assume, in my main concern. My suggestion is, since the beginning, I think is one of the major concerns when we start this kind of project, because at least you need to align your next projects, like this project, for you need the business plan, because if you don't have in the end of this project, you cannot continue. At least if you have other projects, of course. So I think that the most important thing, or my advice, if you want, is you need some pilot, some practitioner, you understand very well this kind of this needs, real needs, and of course support your develop and science. I don't say that you didn't this. So it's my answer. Why? Because when I heard for example, the question by Tessa, your question is the same. So when you don't cover, for example, the different scenarios, and I assume here you will use the same technology that we already have, in this case is sprinklers. So here is the risk for you, because you have the very good solution, but you don't cover some issues fine. So you can cover this if you make it seems that it's not to make sense, if you did the business plan before, you will calculate the risks. So you will cover this part of the plan. It's my opinion, of course. Okay.
All right, thank you for all the participants in this panel. And we're going to move to the second panel on another information. And I forgot to mention, I don't know if you all already noticed, but this agenda here is not the updated one. So if you need to see any kind of information related to today's agenda, it's on the QR code we gave you today and yesterday with the agenda and all the other informations, because this one already had some changes. Thank you very much, and I'm going to ask for the chairman, in this case, Katia from Forest Wise. I'm sorry, Brigitte, I just rounded it. And so to join us as well.
Okay, thank you, Madalena. Thank you, all speakers of the section. It's a pleasure to be here for present the second theme of this event about innovations facilitating fire smart communication. So I'd like to invite our speakers to join me in the stage, please. Rui Almeida, Andrea Pizzoni, André Fonseca, and Conceição Colas, please. In this section, we'll learn about interactive platforms, educational programs, and advanced technologies aimed to improve interactive and effective communication. So, the first and main speaker, Rui Almeida, will start with their presentation focusing bridging fire data and public awareness. Thank you.
Hello, good morning to all of you. I'm from the Forest Service, from the Portuguese Forest Service, and I'm going to speak a little about awareness campaigns. Okay? I'm going to focus on transferring information from data to people on the field. So this is the main object of what we are going to see. First, I have to show you only a spot that is the national plan, that is our guideline in terms of forest fires today, and this national action plan has 4 areas: enhancing rural areas, caring rural areas, managing risk efficiently, and changing behaviors. And we are going to focus on changing behaviors, not in all parts, only in one part. And that mainly are being achieved by the public awareness campaigns. And from that, we are arriving to the public change. But there are some issues on this, okay? What we are achieving is a reduction on the number of fires. We are achieving a reduction of number of fires in every year, okay? Every year, we are reducing the number of fires. It's something that is strange for the public knowledge of fires, because fires as a whole, in the whole world, are increasing, but we are achieving that in Portugal. And that is giving us another type of problem. And this is because we have a big effort on firefighting, we have huge numbers on first intervention. We have a huge impact with the intervention, and that is going to another problem, that is the fire paradox that we have already unrolling on our situation. That is because we are suppressing all the small fires. Most of the small fires, they are disappearing of the process. We are accumulate fuel, and that is leading to huge fires that happen in the last months and so on. So this is our fire paradox that we have to deal in this moment. For that, we have to go inside the changing behaviors and read that little letters that are there, that what we want to do in change behaviors is not reducing the number of fires, it's reducing the number of fires during the risky days, okay? This is our goal. And to go inside the reducing of number of fires, because it's the main change that we are achieving. We have the national campaigns, we have the enforcement, we have local awareness, we have surveillance, and we have social contacts. And this is the guidelines of all what we do in this. We are going to see a project that is focused not in national campaigns, but all other four steps that we have. And that is data. We get inside the data now. And what this represents is a graphic that for each district, the bars are representing the trends on reduction, the number of fires. They are divided in colors of classes of FWI. That is an index of meteorological data. So we are reducing number of fires, but we're not in the same way in all places of Portugal, but in different ways in several classes. Reading this more easily, what we are saying here is that we are reducing a lot of fires, but not in the risky days, okay? We have a trend of reducing fires, but not in the risky days. Resuming this, we can cross this information, and on that areas, the main effort that are being done in Portugal is for situations of high and it's a medium class and a beginning class of risk. And the other three that have low increments year by year are the high risk situations that we want to achieve. And that is the main problem. The graphic, the lines that have in the graphic is the frequency in terms of normal distribution of fires between all the classes. So this is a complex graph, but the little graph resumes what is happening. We have a reduction essentially on situations of low danger, okay? That is accumulating fuel in terms of resulting. coming again inside the graphics. We are using a technique to highlight patterns of situations where the fires increase during all the summer, during all the year, okay? And that's what we are analyzing. We are analyzing for each locality, for each place that we have in a database for Portugal. We are analyzing a radio of 10 kilometers and analyze the number of fires that happen during all season or in the last 15 days, okay? And with that analysis, we compare this situation with last 10 years, okay? And we highlight the situations of Portugal on locals where this appears. This is the maps that we can result on this analysis. We call this the percentile, and we do a representation of heat maps called the technologies heat maps. And we represent here, the percentile that is very high in the last 15 days, or we represent the percentile in that situation, but cross it all with the meteorological information, with the FWE index, okay? And that highlights some areas of Portugal that we know that the number of fires are very high, comparing to the past. And we know that the situation of the meteorological situation is also very, very dangerous, okay? And with this information now, we can get information to the public and to prepare this to go to the public. What is being done? Sorry. We are, for example, we are sending a daily mail to all the entities that work on the system and analyzes and have a list of the name of the places that have these situations, ordered by importance, and this is what we can get. We can get detailed maps on the situation. This is the distribution of fires on that zone. In maps, we can represent these in terms of hours and frequency of hours, and we have also the difference of causes. And causes are very important because causes are being analyzed causes by causes. From this data, we can analyze also what is the most frequent causes on that period, on that places. Okay, and because for each causes we have a table of relations that, or seems to do, it's more relations that seems to do for a specific, if it's hunting, related to hunting, or if it's arson, or if it's fire use, you have different reactions to different causes, okay? And from that, we can use different kind of information, and that it can be sent to the people. And this is the part that is not implemented in the project. We have already developed a partner with not the post office, but the post service office, and in order to transmit this information to that place, they can take these flyers and put these flyers in that places, because nowadays they have all the related addresses of that places in that area. So we don't have the addresses, we have only the name of places, but from the relation that we can establish with post office, it's possible to send information directly to that people that are involved in that area. And on the ending of this project, or what we intend to do is related with the first step on this. Also, the post office is capable of getting information from people. They say that they are able to contact directly with the people and get insights of information from that step. And what can we do? We can do a qualitative analysis of this in terms of quality of message. It's very important to know if the message is adequate to that kind of people, to that kind of situation. And we can do a quantitative analysis that is more easy for us, that is the reduction of number of fires on these areas that are being analyzed. So this is the third step of this. So in conclusion, what we are trying to achieve with this is establishing a system that can take information from the data that we collect. Every day we are collecting information from fires and transmit this information to people on the field. It can be a technician that can use this information. It can be a central way to send information to the people on the field. So it's an awareness campaign that is focused on places that have a change on the number of fires related with the risky days. We also have, in terms of conclusion, we also have another system that we are discussing internal to change. It's a system to collect information about the permit to burn. Okay, in terms generic way is a system that gets information from permit to burn. Everyone who wants to burn a pill or to burn an extensive area, he must have a permission to burn. Now we are trying to change this system to include it's time to burn. Okay, we are going to develop this system in order to reverse the mentality on the system. It's a changing way to do, but it's a way to communicate with the population. And it's everything. Thank you very
much. So now we'll start the pitches, and I ask our speakers to respect the 5 minutes, please. Andrea Pisoni is business developer at iTech. So you can start. Thank you, Andrea.
Okay. Thank you everyone for being here. I would like to start with a story. Okay, so I was once out in the world with a head of a fire brigade, and he was showing me a place where there had been a big fire. And then he showed me the other mountain nearby, and he said, "See, Andrea, if we didn't intervene, that forest would have burned as well." Okay, so this is where it's happening. Okay, we help when the fire is already there, when the hell is already there, and we try to help the firefighters to help the people trying to stop the fire to actually do it. Okay, so it's never too late. But it's too late, of course. Okay, so the system is so the problem. Okay, is usually there are not really good technology to help the pilots with the helicopters who are trying to fly above the fire and to drop the water in the right place where the water needs to be to stop the fire. Okay, it's difficult to have the right information. Also, if information is available, they are usually they need to be analyzed, they need to be interpreted. So it's not easy for someone who has to take a decision on where to step in first, which is the right place where to drop the water, which is the right place where to send the people on the ground to stop the fire. This information is lacking. It's not really available. Maybe it needs analysis. As I said, it needs to be collected together from different sources which are not talking to one another. This is what we do. Okay, so what you see there is a system which you attach on the bottom of the nose of the helicopter. Okay, so you've got cameras, you've got infrared and visual cameras, you've got LiDAR, you've got a lot of sensors on top of that. And this allows the pilot to see through smoke, through canopies, underneath the ashes. So he will see with eyes what's actually down there, where the fire really is. So if you have a fire which is underneath the canopies because maybe the trees aren't burning yet, you don't see it. You don't see exactly where to drop the water to stop the fire. You don't want to stop the fire in the middle of the fire itself. You want to stop to throw the water at where there is a front line of the fire so that you can stop it. Okay, and you need this system actually to see it. On top of that, the system, you can see here in the meantime, what the control room can see. So it's not just about for the pilot to know where to drop the water, and you will see now there is some red coming through where you see on the left-hand side of the video, you see where the fire is. Actually, there's only smoke. You don't see the fire on the right-hand side. But in this way, The pilot knows where to drop the water, and the control room will have immediate visual of what's going on. Now you see here the dropping of the water with the bucket. Okay, so in this case also the control room will know where the water has been dropped and if the dropping has been effective. Okay, so this is what we provide. It's a practical system, going back to what Fabio was saying before. It's a practical system to help and support the firefighting in the best possible way. Look at some of the pictures on the left-hand side. You see where the heat is there, the fire is there, but you actually don't see it visually. You need something to help the pilots to decide where to drop the water. Otherwise, they don't know what to do. And the same for the control room. They need to know where the fire is. All the information, obviously, geolocalized, so you can see, you saw before, there is a map. You see where the fire is on the map. You see where the helicopter is. You can also see where the people on the ground is. So you can add a layer to the information. If the firefighters, they have beepers, they can actually be seen on the same map. So you know what's actually happening down there. This is another visual, okay? It shows again another approach. We got 2D capabilities, we got 3D capabilities that you see here. So that's the best possible way to show information to someone who has to take decisions, not only to the pilots, okay? And you see here now we are approaching an area on the bottom videos where there is some fire. Again, it's not really visible. You see the dropping. Actually, here my colleague made the video quite quick, so usually the helicopter doesn't fly so fast. This is the view of what we have. This is that was wind. Okay, so we have information about the wind which is in the area, moisture. We know where the drops are. So you see here there are the little drops. The videos, the photographs. Imagine that you are in a control room and you want to know what's happening on the ground. You want to know where the water has been dropped, or you want to see some videos. This is the burn area. There are also satellite data that we can integrate into this one. This one I think is type of vegetation. Again, I was limited to 5 minutes, so you have to bear with it. We go very fast because I got only 5 minutes. And okay, I think I've been very, very fast. Okay, so I don't know if I made it into the 5 minutes, but definitely I think so. I want to say, okay, that for me it is very important. I'm here because I'm trying to establish connections. Okay, so I'm trying to find some companies or researchers or people that want actually to integrate the firefighting. This is what we're looking for. It's not to have a separate system or to have one system that resolves one problem. We're actually looking into the complex problem and trying to put the things together. Okay.
Thank you. And now, we will our first speaker is the recommendation from G4.
Hello everyone. Okay, my name is André Fonseca from To Be Forests, and I'm here to talk about how to communicate fire smart strategies through Forest Sim. So Forest Sim is an online platform to help forest owners to manage their forests and obtain forest certification. So first of all, who are we, To Be Forests? Well, we are a small enterprise invested in forest consultancy, certification, planning, and management. We are also a managing entity of a national forest certification group, and also of a group of chain of custody of loggers. And we also are investing in new projects concerning forest certification. So we are represented a bit across the country, including the Azores Islands. We have over 1,000 members with certified forests, around 40,000 hectares of certified land, 49 chain of custody partners, and we also have some members here in the pilot study areas of the Firefest. So our objective here in the Open Innovation Challenge is to find a solution to communicate more efficiently fire strategies to prevent extreme wildfires using our platform. So we are aiming at collecting information from landowners with certified forests, technicians, Firefest partners, and whoever wants to join to improve the contents of our online platform to more efficiently help managers to prevent fires. So what is our platform? Well, it's a web-based system. You can access it by phone, computer, desktop computers, whatever. It's a cloud-based architecture, so all the information regarding forest certification is stored online, and it has distinct user profiles. So both managing entities, technicians, and landowners can access the platform with distinct level of access to information. We also have an online GIS system used for landowners and technicians to visualize properties and every detail regarding forest management and also certification. And then we also have an integrated planning system with budgets associated with it. And all of this leads to cost-effective forest management solutions, because we also have productivity models for the main forest species in Portugal, so it's a very comprehensive system. And this system is being currently used as a fire prevention tool as well. In one hand, we have increasing numbers of forest owners adhering to the certification scheme and also using forest sim to consult information regarding their land. And in the other hand, we have a national interest of the community to prevent extreme wildfires in the early stages or before they happen. And this leads to how can we use our technology to address this. By using forest sim, landowners can have better planning for the management of their lands, and also specific instructions on how to perform operations under critical periods or advisory services involving multiple properties under fire risk, and even, as I showed you earlier, web GIS tools to identify fire-prone areas. So regarding these web GIS tools, we are currently using publicly available data, such as municipal plans for defense of forests against fires, or even fire danger maps, so we can locate interesting areas to be worked on and to implement the legal requirements for Portugal. But we want to take this further. So we would like to increase the usefulness of our platform with new approaches. We also have the possibility of have an operational control of planned forest activities for forest owners by providing them specific instructions on how to manage their lands for this. And if you can, please answer our first questionnaire on how to improve our platform. For new ideas, you can also stop by our workstation, where we can also talk more about this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Andre. So finally, we'll hear from Conceição Suárez from Lisa.
Thank you. So I belong to the School of Agriculture from the University of Lisbon, and we are a partner from FireWare. So this is one of the innovation actions for FireWare. So I'm here to talk about the Fire Explorer, that it's a fire education platform, and let's see what is the problem. So most of the pictures that were in here were presenting the problem about wildfire. And well, okay, we know that wildfires are occurring worldwide, citizens and landscapes are being affected. There is a low risk awareness all over the world about wildfires. If we think about Portugal, because we are facing several wildfires, is something that is very present. But if we look, for instance, to all Europe, and if we look to the other countries where fire is not that common, the awareness of the risk is very low. And when we have a very low awareness of the risk, usually we also have a very low fire knowledge. So that is something that we need to address if we want citizens to be more prepared to wildfires. because they will reach those areas that usually don't have fires. Also, a little bit like what Fabio was saying, but also Louis and we have been discussing. So we have a lot of information, so there are a lot of wildfires, a lot of websites and platforms that are mentioning wildfires, what to do, how we can behave, what is happening, but usually they are very, very difficult to find. It is very difficult to find the exact information that people need, even the professionals. Because many times there are deliverables, there are reports that are quite interesting, but they are just in the middle of the platforms. And also, information is difficult for everyone to reach. So our question was where to find clear, simple, and useful information. And because of that, we have created, and we are almost at the end, but we are open to new suggestions. We have created a fire education platform that it's called Fire Explorer. And the main goal is to improve communication and make fire information easy and accessible to everyone. And in here I'm going to show you a little bit of the prototype. So it was a co-design. This was not only a design from our colleague Leticia that it's there. She was the one that was doing all the design, but we were co-creating this design with the end users in a way that people would know how to follow to an exact information, or if they want to find something, how can they reach that easily? And the fire education platform, it has several fields. So to teach, it's for educators. If we look throughout the platforms and websites, there are a lot of training courses, but usually they are not that well managed or that well accessible. So what we are doing, we are creating that part, that we are creating video classes, we are choosing the best courses that for our knowledge as also operationals, but also as scientists and researchers, the ones that are more interesting and the ones that we can validate that they are also correct. So for educators to teach, for the general public and also for students to learn, for professionals to do. How can they find information in a simple way if they need, imagine, information about how to manage the land, using the most updated information from science, how they can find that information. Also, we did a survey, a European survey that has already more than 1,000 answers from all over Europe, and we wanted to see what people would like to find in a platform. So we've created this 5 minutes fire guide that because everyone wants to know what to do exactly before, during, and after a wildfire. This information usually we think that it's easy to find, but not that really. And then we have the fire culture. So most of the countries, particularly in Europe, we are banning the fire, and fire is always bad. But in reality, fire is in everyday life. And also we have a lot of traditions, art, stories. So we are gathering all that information because there's no point of banning fire, because fire is also an ecological part of our land. And well, we have the platform for you to explore. So please try our platform. It's the prototype, so it has a lot of things that it's not functioning well now, but it will. So please just explore and then give us your feedback. We are really keen on that. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentations, for your inspiring presentation. I So, as you know, we are late, but we'll respect the time, so it's fair that we open the floor for one question. Please,
So, I need to repeat, we are late, but all speakers respect the time, so it's fair that we open the floor to one question from the audience.
Just a quick question. So that's related to the platforms and what is being provided in the platforms. So typically, focus on the event, say, right before the meeting or right after. But then we know that what we may do goes back. We want to focus on prevention. It's not just what we do 1 month before the wildfire. We're dealing with forestry systems. There's a lot of extended temporal horizons. What we do today will have an impact on the wildfire season 1 year from now. Is there a component there that we think we could address and have in the platform so that people who are involved in managing the ecosystems may learn a little bit about? Thank you.
Yes, of course, one of the things, that 5 minutes fire guide, because it is what usually people, when an event is coming, they want to know very fast. And that is quite important because velocity is the key. But for the teachers and also to learn, a lot of part, a big part, it's on prevention, on forest and land restoration, because, well, in reality, there is a cycle, and we need to address that. We need to address that and really work on prevention, and that the restoration belongs to the prevention, because if not, it's we are just wasting money. Yes.
Thank you. I think one question is enough for the lunchtime. You have the opportunity to come from the speakers in the lunch. Okay, thank you.
So I believe that you arrived at the time that you are also expecting. We have our lunch time, and this is in place where we have the workstations. Okay, so enjoy the lunch, and thank you again for all of you. Yes, just to have here an update that is necessary. We'll try to expect 1 hour for our lunch time. I believe that is possible. Okay, thank you. 2:30 we will be here. Sorry? Okay. No, because it was, they respect the time and I have thought in 2:30, so yes. Thank you.